this computer. All right, I'm calling the meeting to order at 8:17 and moving to the agenda page. And on the agenda, the first order of business is the August and September meeting minutes acceptance. I don't know if you guys had a chance to review those. They are up on the G Drive. There was one change that I recommended. Oop, we have another attendee. Go back to Zoom, and it's Angela. Um, so we had one change that I recommended to Maria with respect to our discussion about the HR policy, just specifying the reasons why we decided not to go ahead and pursue that. And here's Mikhail. And she accepted that change, so that's in there. So has anyone have any issues with the minutes as currently presented in for August and September?
I move to accept the minutes for August and September.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mikhail possibly is still
He's
muted.
there.
There he is. Yes, he was muted.
I guess.
All right. Cool
Um,
beans. We just approved the minutes for August and September. Good job, Mikhail. All
okay, sounds good.
right. Moving along, chair report. So there really wasn't too much action in the North Carolina General Assembly. Nothing really of note on any of our bills that we're following. There was one bill that came out of nowhere and passed both the House and the Senate, namely HB 307, which had been languishing in committee. It was a fairly innocuous criminal reform bill, according to Republicans' reform, which did things like tighten up the availability of cashless bail and took away some of the latitude from judges and so on. Then we had that horrible murder down in Charlotte, and suddenly the bill had juice, and they added a provision to make it practical to administer the death penalty, or actually several provisions that move along the ability for North Carolina to carry out the death penalty, which, as you probably know, is a platform plank on the national level that the Libertarian Party opposes the death penalty. So I devoted my chair report video to that subject, asking Governor Stein to veto it, which of course he did not. So much for that. Um, that passed and was by both houses and was signed by the governor. Um, September events, well, we had a fairly reasonable. It was definitely an improvement in attendance at the meetups over August. Still wasn't great, but we had better improved attendance, and we had a successful, I would say, a successful special event. The social shooting meetup at On Point went very well, and I managed to improve my uh, long 38 shooting. I think I shot a series of five, and each one was better than the previous one, which was good because the first one was really bad. So it worked from that perspective as well. Treasurer report. Moving on to the treasurer report. Sean is not here. He did post in Mattermost that we have something over $3,000 in the till. Um, and future events. Now we have the discussion potentially of the state fair promotion, which our special guest Angela Humphreys is here to participate in. So, Angela, I put this as close to the beginning as I could because I didn't want you to have to sit through the whole meeting to get to it. So, Angela came up with a cool idea for promoting attendance at the fair, and potentially could be leveraged to promote volunteers as well, which is to provide prizes for people who take the world's smallest political quiz and give us their contact information. And So we're working on the mechanics of doing that. Angela, I think, is bird dogging getting well, Angela can tell us what she's doing. I'm making sure that we have enough contact forms for world's smallest political quiz on the front, contact forms on the back to accommodate the hopefully robust demand. The prize will be pair of tickets to a Hurricanes game. And so I was thinking that since the LPNC are springing for a pair of tickets, the Wake LP should also participate in a modest way in this program, which would obviously benefit us because, most of the contacts that come in are, or at least half the contacts that come in usually are Wake County contacts. Um, and my initial thought was that we should provide a pair of tickets ourselves, and that also we could add in that the tickets would be to the game that we are planning, which we are in. Patrick Bowersox is looking into a group ticket purchase for us for a social meetup to a Hurricanes game.
Let her pitch it.
Um,
Let's hear it.
Speak.
I said, let her pitch it. Let's let her
Yeah. But
sell the.
Angela had a different idea. So Angela, take it away.
I'm not opposed to the meetup, but I just don't think we can handle it for the fair. Like, I think it's a great idea. I think we should do some party-wide events. Because I've seen Wake go to those Canes games, probably utilizing the group rate in the past. And I'm like, I didn't get the memo. Why can't we all do this? But Brad did a great job covering the majority of the fair idea with the Canes tickets. We kind of wanted to hold out a carrot, was the idea, with the tickets being the carrot. And have the state fund it. And then, yeah, like he said, hey, maybe Wake can add to the pile. And then I just counter suggested, hey, instead of adding two sets of tickets, because that would be very expensive, maybe you guys could do something tangible instead. Plus, it would be a lot cheaper because, the fans have the little flags or towels that they wave around. You could even do like, I don't know, those travel thermoses. And if you have something tangible on the table, we could package it like we did with some of the silent auction items to maybe draw attention. I don't know if there's time and coordination available to do packaging, but it's worth a shot if we can try to swing something together, slap something together really quick with the
Well,
fair because
Angela,
it's
we have a
like right
secret
around the corner.
weapon. One of our active members at Wake LP actually works for the Hurricanes. Um,
Ooh.
he's not a full-time employee, but he works games. So I don't think there'd be any problem getting some slag, some stuff we could give away. Um, if you can provide a basket, maybe. Now, I would say that the table's pretty crowded with stuff, with
Okay.
libertarian paraphernalia, and a basket would take up a fair amount of space, so that might be a concern. But I do think that having some hurricane stuff visible would be a good idea.
Yeah, I was thinking something vertical so it wouldn't just be down there at table level to try to, because I kind of wanted something at the line of vision, which is almost impossible for something like that. But if we have, we don't have any like crates or anything, kind of like a market table to where you would elevate some of the items, where you have different levels of tiers and it supposedly creates different levels of interest to the viewers walking by or something like that.
There's
That's
Well,
more
where
got
would
to
you
important.
put
be
it though? You can't put it in front of the table unless you pull the table back,
you
which is taking
you
up a lot of
put it
real
behind.
estate in the
Put it
booth.
behind. Put it behind. You just put something on the table that says complete this silly survey and you can win a pain something or other. That's on the table. Behind it, we can go to Amazon. There's something very easy that'll fold out, I'm sure, that's 6 feet tall and only like 2 feet wide, and you can just put some cane stuff on it that would be eye level. I can look on Amazon or Angela can send me a link and I can order said thing, which can't possibly cost more than $50. This should
Well,
be easy.
I have some booth items because I sell my watercolors on occasion. So I have like little props and like those wooden crates. So if we need anything like that, just let me know before I sign up for the booth so I can bring it in advance.
Right.
Um,
Well, a 6 foot tall thing sounds like the right thing. I mean, if we could
or
put one with a small footprint. So if we can get crates that were 6 foot tall, that sounds good, or else we'll just order something. and then we'll have it for future conventions too if we need it.
Okay. And then the only other thing I'm doing is just having Ryan do the other stuff related to this. So
The landing
hopefully,
page, the
yeah.
dedicated landing
So
page, and
you're
the
you're
QR code.
working, yeah, you're working on the printout for the world's smallest political quiz, and I think we're adding either the QR code to that, or we can just have it separate on the table, and then it drives the person to the website to a designated spot that I'm also planning to have a specific spot. And Ryan and I brainstormed on that, at least have a big sign up block similar to what's at the bottom of the Join Us page, I believe. And
Right.
then probably some text at the top like, thanks for stopping by the Libertarian booth at this year's state fair. They're obviously going to see it because this is a live interaction. We're getting them to sign up right there on the spot, hopefully, is my intention. And then we need that contact information from them anyway, but we're just saying, we want to encourage you to sign up for our newsletter or something. Whatever that block is at the bottom is where I want them to go learn something about us. So it might be our principals page or something like that.
Well, that's
Or
up
we
to
might,
you as to
yeah.
what you put
So
on the landing page. What I would recommend with the QR code is a sign, a large one, a relatively large one, and we can save real estate on the table by using the 6 foot tall, stand. Put the basket on top of it, and then the sign goes right under the basket, and it's very visible. People can point their cameras at it and get it. Not that that may be the only place we have it, but that would be a good place to put it, I would think.
yeah, I think it's gonna work out. It's gonna be good. Thank you
Okay.
for your support. And running what do you call it? Front man on the fair booth.
Right. All right.
Thank
So
you.
bottom line, we're going to acquire the stuff to give away and the swag. And
Okay.
you are going to provide a basket, or do we need to get that too?
I have baskets galore, or
Good.
they're
You're
each
going to
and
provide a
or they're
basket, and
yeah.
you're going to let us know if you can if crates 6 feet tall would be stable, or else we should go out and get one. And we need to know that pretty soon, like the next day or two.
Yeah, so no, I don't know about a crate that's 6 feet tall, but
Well, you could stack
oftentimes,
them, presumably.
yeah, yeah, I do have things that can be stacked. I also have like maybe a 5 foot board that could create a second tier on the table if we have that much stuff. I could send you a picture of like one of my setups for art, and it may not work out, but you
Okay,
may decide you might want all of my crates anyway to just stack and like they have Velcro strips in between to help stabilize and anchor them to one another.
that sounds good.
Um, so maybe I have something we can use. It would be eye level once it's on the corner of a table, so it could be like shoved in the back of the table, and you
No,
could
no, we're
use it.
not thinking about it on the table. We're thinking about it in the back of the booth. So it's if it's 6 feet tall,
Yeah.
on the back
Okay.
in the back of the booth should be tall enough so people can see it. So
Still like a L shape like y'all did previously? L-shaped
well, there
table?
will be an L shape, but and we usually put two chairs in the back, but there's room
Hmm.
between the chairs, so we could stick, like if it's not too wide, we could stick the pile of crates back between the two chairs, and it would be more or less in the middle of the booth. That cuts down a little bit on the display area on the back wall, but usually we use that to show T-shirts and stuff we're selling, and we're not selling anything, so I don't think that'll be an issue.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
I'll just bring what I have and we'll
Is
figure it
that what
out.
you were saying, David?
If
Did I interpret
yeah,
your
so
suggestion
I
correctly?
put a link in there for one that's about 4.5 feet tall. So it's in
Okay.
your chat, so people can click on it. And there's things similar to that. How much are the tickets? So we're gonna match the LPNC for a pair of Canes tickets.
No, no. Angela's talked us out of that. We're going to be
Okay.
responsible for the
So
swag
only
instead.
only swag.
Right.
All right, got it.
Yeah. I don't think,
She's
I
gone
mean,
already.
having another set of tickets is kind of redundant. I don't think that adds much, but having the visible swag there that would go to the people as well as the tickets, I think that's kind of cool.
Well, without a price, it was hard to even make that decision, yay or nay. So
Right, right, right.
I don't know
Yeah.
what we pay
Patrick
for
is working
Canes
on the
ticket.
group ticket price. Angela, I would recommend that
She's gone.
she's gone. All right. Never mind then. Cool. Uh, Other future events. We have tentatively agreed to, is that Angela coming back?
Possibly.
Okay, let me go back to Zoom. Yes, it's Angela coming back.
So the short answer is we're going to have some cane swag, and people fill out the survey or the quiz, and
Correct.
then they'll get the swag.
They'll get
Possibly.
whoever wins will get the swag plus 2 tickets. Now, Angela, I
Well,
do
why would you?
recommend
Well,
that we
well,
plan to include the winners in that meetup for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's kind of cool to go with a bunch of libertarians. But also, it means that we would get a discounted price on the tickets because it'll be a group rate.
so why
Okay.
would you give away the swag to the person who's also won the tickets? My point being, let's say you get some Cane's towels, some Cane's coffee mugs, you get, let's say, $150 worth of shit. You just hand something out every day. You just that way
Oh,
somebody has something to, right? I mean,
I like it.
I don't know why would you like if you want to have people actively engaged each day, you have a group come by and you hand somebody, hey, here's your free Canes coffee mug and your Wake LP pin and Libertarian bumper sticker if you like it, and thank you for doing the survey. And so we have the
Oh,
little stand, we have the swag, we give out a little bit of swag each day, especially if it looks like it's busy. You can leave that to the discretion of whoever's on shift. Will probably be out of it after a week, but that way you generate some excitement each day. I know it's not amazing to get a coffee mug, but some people really love t-shirts and
How do you
towels.
determine who wins that day?
I don't know, come up with something. Do
The
it at
10th,
random.
the
Or just
10th person, the 20th person, something like that.
sure,
that
sure. Or,
that I
or
love that idea, but then we need to figure out how to coordinate prize giveaways each day for 10 days straight. So I don't know how to coordinate that because I don't live up
I
there.
would just leave it up to the evening shift person. Just tell the person on who works 3 to 6 each day that they can give away one swag item when somebody fills out the quiz. We don't have to overthink this or make it sound it doesn't have to be totally perfectly fair or random behind the scenes, right? You can just tell the person working whatever the busy shift is that he's allowed to give one swag item away if he thinks that it'll be helpful, right?
All right.
Then he's giving away swag or she's
We'll
giving away
work on
swag.
that, Angela. We'll figure
Yeah, you
something
guys
out.
figure that out. I got to go to the convention meeting.
All right.
Enjoy.
Thank you for
Thanks,
having me.
Angela. Keep them
Thanks, guys.
flying.
See you
Bye
soon.
now. Cool. All right. As I was saying, we have negotiated with, or actually, Better Ballot North Carolina came to us, and we're looking for a venue for this film that's been released, Majority 101. And there's a 2 hour version of it and a 30-minute version of it. They want to show the 30-minute version of it and have a panel discussion, which would include a representative of WakeLP. And so basically, I as my, putting on my BBNC hat, I called Tobacco Road, and I don't have it confirmed yet, but I think we're going to do it on November 19th. That would be a Wednesday night. So instead of a meetup, we would have this event, which we're not sponsoring because, they're a 501c nonpartisan organization, so they cannot coordinate with political parties per se. Um, but obviously, we would help them promote it, and they'll probably try to get somebody from the Forward Party, Green Party, and if they're interested, the Democrats and Republicans, they probably won't be, to be in the panel discussion. So, so that's likely to be our November event in effect, even though it's not officially one of our events. Um, okay, I lost my agenda. Oh, right. Here we go. AI and tech jobs and prepping for a dollar meltdown or 2026 now, not 2026, 26, 2026. And the Hurricanes game, Patrick is now working on that. I don't know when that will be. It's probably going to be, well, it has to be after the fair, obviously. It'll probably be in early 2026 and a relatively non-sexy game, not with the Rangers or something like that. Um, and so that's what we have on track now for future events. Any other suggestions for future events that aren't on here?
What happened to the AI guy?
I have not. I have left a message for the AI lady, actually, professor, but I got really busy with my interviews and have not followed up. So I need to follow up with her now that we're done interviewing candidates. Um, New business. 2026 Cap F. So we have been promoting this in the last couple of newsletters, and we're about to send out a dedicated fundraiser email as well. Basically, we want to raise money for 2026. We do have some idea. We, being myself and Larry Johnson, have some ideas for expanding our level of support for candidates. We think we might be able to corral a technology to basically support X and maybe Facebook pages where we can promote or we can distribute um, generic issue related posts that would go on everyone's Facebook page or everyone's Twitter page without the candidate doing anything. That's a work in progress. I'm not positive that'll be ready for 2026, but we're definitely want to do it. Um, Candidate recruiting. I really haven't started candidate recruiting. I'm late on that. But I have the beginnings of the spreadsheet that we do every year, looking at uh, each district and seeing who in that district is eligible for running. I think that the focus that I'm going to try to do is to make sure that we get every Senate seat covered, and then go down and work on the House seats after the Senate seats are reasonably well covered. Because, you know, given that we have a limited number of people that can run, obviously the you get more bang for your buck out of a Senate candidate than you do out of a House candidate because they cover more ground. And I may need some help with recruiting on that. Likely, we'll need some help with recruiting on that. So,
Dates, Brad?
sorry.
Dates?
Dates. The sign up starts in December 10th and runs through 2 weeks, I guess. So,
Like to the 19th, I thought. So, okay,
yeah,
so that's a key date for people to know that needs to be communicated out, right?
correct.
I mean, and actually you need the candidates probably more, that's probably more urgent than the money, right?
Yes, that is
And
true.
ballpark, how much are you thinking per candidate will the candidate accelerator program cost?
I would love to be able to cover the basic cost for a paper candidate, which is ran last year around $700 per candidate. I think we can cut that price down a little bit because we don't have this expense that we had in the past of Ken Benkowski's server to cover. It was a fair amount of that too, of that
What was
$700.
$700?
Well, actually, that's not a paper candidate. Take that back. That's a candidate who does signs. It's less for a paper candidate. Um, so, yeah, we can probably, if you cut out signs and yard signs and handouts, it's probably more like $200.
Okay.
So
So we're looking at what, 19 candidates for Wake County, Senate and House?
ideally, we've never actually covered the
Okay,
entire.
but I mean, I'm just trying
Yeah,
to
yeah,
real
yeah.
quick
That would be the
ballpark
max.
budget this and get some.
That would be the
So
max. Yeah,
200 times 20, so you're looking at least $2,500 would be a base number, and then if half of those are active, most of your active candidates in the past have supported themselves to an extent, right?
yeah. In
We
theory,
haven't had
anyway.
we haven't had too many active candidates who are also 100% welfare recipients. Is that a true statement?
That is a true statement. Although there are definitely a lot of unpaid bills out there, but be that as it may, it would be nice to be able to cover all those expenses if we could. I'm aiming with the cap F to get to raise $6,000. That's probably ambitious, but you know, uh,
Well, I wouldn't expect us to fully fund a candidate who's not putting in, who's an active candidate
correct. Yes,
completely, right? Because
right.
that would,
Yes, we would want the active candidates to include in
by
activity some
spending some of
fundraising.
their own money, they demonstrate that they're actually interested in
Right.
being an active candidate. Everyone else can be a
Or
paper.
better yet, actually raising some money themselves. Yeah.
We've only had a few, and I mean those are just going to be the judgment of the EC, right? As I recall, like if somebody legitimately just doesn't have the income to spend $300, but we know they'll be active.
Right.
I can't think of a couple people. No need to call them out. But the point being is we have had that in the past, but those are
Right.
done
Then it
onesie
makes sense
twosies.
to support
We're
them.
not gonna we're not gonna hand Ed George $700 if he runs again because
Right.
you know he
Right.
doesn't
Right.
need it.
Yeah, I have actually sponsored websites and some yard signs for candidates I know would use them and wouldn't have been able to afford them if they didn't get
So
some.
we have 19 candidates. We hope to recruit by 10 December and hope to raise 6,000 if all goes well. Maybe 3,000 would be the bare
Minimum.
minimum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Brad, if we just do the letter, I have a ton of stamps that we can send out to try and raise money for people.
Okay. That's cool. We definitely have people that we don't have emails for, addresses for that we'd like to reach. So that's a good idea. Um, all right. Old business. Candidate survey project update. Well, we ended up with 27 people who responded to the survey, 26 of whom we actually know what their results were. We lost one of them, but we did get 27 responses. Um, and and then followed up with interviewing those folks, and I think we ended up with 20 people that actually agreed to and showed up for interviews. Actually, everyone who scheduled an interview showed up. Nobody, didn't show up at the scheduled interview. But there were seven of the world's smallest political quiz takers who never did agree to an interview. Couldn't we? After numerous calls, we just ran out of time with them. So, we're now at the point where we've got a lot of information on 20 candidates, and we need to decide which of them, if any, we are going to tout as people that libertarian-oriented voters should take a look at. I think we do have some among the 20. Um, and so that we are planning to meet tomorrow at 8 p.m. via Zoom. And when I say we, I mean me and David B. and David U. and Matt Lazex, who was actively involved in interviewing, and Matthew Corden, who also was actively involved in interviewing, as was David B. And I don't remember if I invited
Out
either.
of
I
out of the
invited,
20, how out of the 20, how many are legitimately worth even talking about?
I would say about half.
Okay. So
I mean,
so
I personally vetoed maybe four or five, and there have been a couple of other vetoes by other people. So there's
okay. So
there could be as many as 14 if you
okay.
include the maybe.
Yeah. So I don't see us finishing the way we talk that meeting in a reasonable time frame if we even head down the list. So I just maybe tomorrow I'll just start with the ones that are most likely
Yeah,
to be people that we think are worth talking about.
right.
Um, I don't want to spend an hour discussing why people are awful human beings,
Correct. Yes, there's no point in
the
discussing
David
people that
Cox
are
of the
clearly
world and
not
that
going to
kind of
make
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and yes, I'd also like to spend some of the time tomorrow talking about our objectives and our presentation. But I'll save that for tomorrow.
Okay.
Business meeting recordings posted on YouTube. Well, Marie's not here, so I'm not quite sure what the problem is there. It seems like she should be able to do that, and I'm not quite sure why she hasn't been able to do it. We'll just belay that for another month. And
Where
nope.
did, so we have a few more minutes. Where did you intend to, I mean, obviously we have a newsletter, but where else or how else did you intend to communicate to libertarians in Wake County that, hey, this guy in Holly Springs might be worth the shit. This person in Roseville would be somebody worth your consideration. This person in Wake Forest, etc., Apex, wherever.
Well, I'm thinking of doing something we've never done, which is A, issuing a press release, and B, using our social media to promote it. And the basic theme would be, we can't endorse non-libertarians, but there are several people running in Wake County for municipal office who have, our interests at heart, I mean, that's not the way I'd say it, but basically that are sympathetic to the libertarian perspective in certain ways. And then the list would include a sentence or two about each candidate, talking about, what specifically they is in their platform that is libertarian
Yeah.
friendly.
Yeah. Well,
The way
okay.
we've done it in the past, basically, right?
Yeah. Well, so in the past, though, just perspective, and we'll talk about tomorrow, and I only bring it up since like McKay won't be there. It definitely needs to be issue focused. We can, like we consider supporting Sally because Sally believes blah 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 property rights
I think we've
or some.
consistently done that in the past, and I think
Yeah, no, so I just want to make sure we stay
yeah,
with that because once you say that somebody is libertarian leaning, you just open a
right,
shitstorm.
absolutely,
Most
absolutely,
libertarians aren't even libertarian leaning. I've been around libertarians who don't appreciate the libertarianness of other libertarians. So you
yes,
know, you
very
tell
true.
somebody a Democrat is
Yes.
libertarian
No,
leaning
no,
and
no, no. It's going to be
you've,
totally relatable
yeah,
to
yeah,
specific issues.
the issues that we're working on. All right,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. We talked to all these people we talked to. We asked four questions, the same four questions, and those were all issue oriented. And then on top of that, after we got through that, we talked about our priorities.
Yep.
Private property, deregulation of small businesses, policing policy, being focused on violent crime, not on hassling people for
So
lifestyle
out of
choices.
the 20, uh, how many? Yeah, so in the past we tried to do like two and two, so no more than four or whatever. Do we have three or four that actually seem legitimately strong? Because
Yeah, our problem in terms of the look of it is there's a summary on a second page of that spreadsheet. There's a summary, and I think that's in the invite. You can go look at
yeah,
the problem is that there's a concentration of people in two localities. We have a lot of people in Wake Forest, and we have a lot of candidates in Holly Springs. Um, probably because David Blackwelder was active in rounding people up, and Patrick Bowersox was like a whirlwind.
okay, yeah. I
Um,
don't see that as a problem.
okay. Well, I'm just saying that there's probably going to be more people from those localities. I don't think there's more than one from any other locality, whereas there's probably two or
Okay.
three from each of those.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, in the past we didn't say like we had, there's not like a threshold here. And sometimes less is more, right? In the sense that
Yeah.
having two or three people on the list that are worthy, so to speak, for lack of a better word, is probably better than 10 that are all kind of 4-day old potato salad.
Yes. We should probably try to avoid 4-day-old potato salad. I agree with that.
Right. I mean, you want the endorsements to reflect somebody that, so if a libertarian goes and looks up
Yeah.
that person, it actually
Okay.
looks
Well,
like,
we're getting into tomorrow. I mean, there are
yeah,
other considerations too. Like, for example, we don't want to have all Republicans. We don't want to have all losers. It'd be nice if we had some people that could actually win.
yeah,
Those.
that's fair.
Yeah. So we can talk about it tomorrow, though. All right. So, oh, wait, I forgot to ask if anybody had other new business. So let's go back to new business for a second and let me ask the question. Does anybody have any additional items that we should be talking about? Hearing none. And since we finished off all the old business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Can we have a question? I don't have new business. So I have a final question. And the other questions were mainly from Mikhail, who hasn't been to one of these and doesn't know how we've done that in the past, which is why I thought it was worth the 5-minute conversation. LPNC, are they straight on who they're going to run for state level races? They have candidates.
They have three people who want to run for U.S. Senate.
Okay, that's good.
It should be interesting if they actually have a free person primary. Then maybe we can ask the state to do ranked choice voting to avoid a runoff. So anyway, Mikhail, you're certainly welcome to come to the meeting tomorrow. I've invited all the members of the EC, to come. So, feel free to attend if it's convenient. It isn't required or anything, but don't feel you're not welcome. All right. So now, if somebody want to volunteer a motion to adjourn,
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Yay. Yes.
Aye.
Aye, 4-0. Great. All right. Well, hopefully the recording will be sufficient for Maria to take note to provide us with notes, and see you guys in a month, if not before. Well, some of you tomorrow night. Take care now.
Yes.
Good
All right.
night.
Thank you.